What is going on, my friends? Chris Cusimano here. If we haven't met before, it's nice to meet you. If we do know each other, well, welcome to this cool new platform that we haven't been on together before. I'm actually really excited to start this whole new Skool community with this free training because I spent a lot of time developing this free portion of the training. And what I mean by portion, that there's also a paid one. But in this free one, per se, I would say, just from knowing what is out in the real estate space, in the coaching and training space, there's nothing like this. There's not. This is really designed for real estate agents who want to level up and get a competitor's edge, but don't really have the funds to break the bank to do so, or really don't want to spend a lot of cash up front to do so. Pretty much everything in here is evergreen. It applies no matter what the market conditions are or what's going on with social media or tactics or whatever is the hot new shiny object out there. This is evergreen stuff to help you grow a business, and that's what this free training is about over the next 25 videos or so. All right, so I'm gonna get out of explaining mode. I know you're busy, but I thought it was very important to kind of get that out of the way, show up my excitement out of the way, and really get down to business. So again, this is the free portion. There is a paid portion. I do want to make one other point, is that if you get any value out of this, then so will a colleague of yours. And there's nothing better than doing something to help somebody else. I don't get any money if you invite anyone to a free training. So this is not a sales thing. It's really like providing others with stuff of value. Just A, it's just the right thing to do. Why wouldn't you do it? And B, just makes you feel good for selfish reasons. So, and it'll probably come back in spades anyways, because people appreciate when you give them a lot of cool stuff and advice. So bring a friend, colleague, get them into this Skool community, and then we can grow something together. Really awesome. Okay, let's get into it. Right, so this is video section 1, lesson 1. And for a while when I was putting together this training, I was struggling with, should I start with motivation and happiness? Like, I know how important it is, but I didn't want people to fade out right away. I'm like, maybe they won't get it because it's not a tangible thing, but it kind of is. So from being in coaching and training and running a real estate team in Southeast Florida, sending referrals, for the longest time, I have noticed the biggest struggle with agents is up here, is the mental game. And not only is the mental game, it's the motivation to self-start and do the work and start going. Actually, there's a 94% failure rate in real estate after a couple years. And a lot of that is up here, just the consistency of moving forward. And I also notice when I do what's called my motivational interviews, which we're going to do at the end of this lesson today, when I do these things with agents and they don't really have a real reason to really be motivated and push themselves through, they usually quit. And I would hate for that to happen. If you go through all the process and the years of trying to figure out real estate out and just realize it's not for you, it's kind of best to know up front. But the good news is, if you have the motivation and the drive and you have something that's really pushing you to excel, this could be a fantastic career for you. I kind of look, and what I want to teach today, the point of that image there is like, I want to make this like the holy grail to help you get to that level. Like, this training is like, yes, this is what I was looking for. Right, so there's a paid one and a free one, but this free one is more than enough to get you going. And maybe it might be the last thing that you need. So super cool. So let's get into it. I'll stop yapping now. All right, so what we're going to cover inside of this free training in the next 25 videos are going to be 5 sections of 5 videos each. You can watch 1 a day, 2 a day, whatever you want. I don't think you should fly through these things personally. I think you should really just take it slow. Like, grab one thing, learn one thing, really truly entrench yourself in that one thing for that day, and then move on to the next. And that should get you through the next month and a half, and really just set the stage for your future. So section 1, we're going to develop our unique product. Why are we talking about developing a product? Is because our colleagues don't really have a unique, exciting product. And that's what people want. That's what the consumer demands, is that something new, exciting, something they can be wowed about and tell their friends how wow they are with that. And when you develop a really unique and excited product itself, or a service that others don't provide, you are a product of one. You are a competition of none. You're not a commodity. The discount commission thing goes away, and it's really easy for you to grow your business because other people do it for you. They tell everyone about you because you are so awesome, so much better than everyone else. And we're going to develop that in just 5 freaking videos, starting it off. And then after we have a perfect product on the listing side, I should say, then we're going to talk about we're going to put it together with a perfect listing presentation. The perfect listing presentation is pretty in depth with a lot of steps involved, so it's going to take a lot of videos to do that. After that, we're going to talk about how to do the perfect product and presentation for our buyers. And then after that, We have our product in a place. We have a presentation in place. So when they call, but now it's our brand. Even if you have a good product, if you don't have a good branding image, you're kind of fighting the current a little bit. Every single major business has a brand behind it. Every major popular celebrity has a brand behind them. Why don't realtors have brands too? We should. We're going to talk about that in section 4. And in section 5, we're going to talk about how we get a market. What are the best forms of advertising for maximum ROI or return on investments for a product and a brand? And this is just the foundation of any business that you start. Even if you leave real estate and you just follow the stuff for anything, a plumbing business, a restaurant, wherever, it all applies. It's timeless advice for business. And I'm happy to share it with you. And I'm happy you don't have to worry about paying the money or spending the time learning it yourself or the hard way. Here's the easy way in just 25 freaking lessons. Super awesome. So that's what we're going to cover. A little bit about me if you're wondering if you should continue following along or not. Hey, this might be the last time I see you. This might be the last slide. You might go, I don't like this guy. I'm out, right? But this is a little bit about me if we haven't met before. I've been doing this for a long time, since I was 19 years old. I'm 42 now, so actually that's 23 years in real estate, and I've been a real estate agent since 2005, so that's actually 19 years as a realtor. I got to update this slide, you think? And I got serious in 2011 when my wife and I got pregnant with our first kid. I was in real estate before that, but I wasn't really in it because I really didn't like the business, and the reason I wasn't in it is because I didn't like the business. But I had to figure it out. I didn't have a choice at that point, and I figured out how to do it the new way, not the old way. Took a long time to figure it out, but I did. And if you follow along, you just do it. You don't have to worry about figuring it out yourself. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna show you a couple of recent sales. So my goal every year is to make about $500,000. This is not money to the team. This is me. This is what I take home money. Actually, it's a lot less than that. Like my goal when I first started was 100 grand, and then it went to 250, and now it's just 5. One day I might scale it. I have a couple of small kids, and I have this I'm putting together in my team. There's a lot of moving parts right now where I can't really focus on scaling right now, but maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll get scale to $1 million. And the good thing is these frameworks in place here, you can do that. You can scale to 2, right? But for me, I'm a transparent, clear guy. This is what I want to make, and this is what I make every year. You follow along the steps, you can do the same thing too. There's no reason why you can't. I barely got past high school. I'm not the brightest. I didn't go to Harvard, right? It's just my point is that it's just tenacity. Failure is no match for persistence and tenacity. And I'm tenacious and I'm persistent, and I found the way. I'm going to show you the way in the next couple of trainings to get you to the same place, right? And I'm going to always be available for you if you want to get there and you're sincere about it. All right, so that's my little spiel there. You know what's crazy about this number is that this is not even a big number for real estate. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, the average realtor does about 3 or 4 transactions a year, but there's people who make millions, and you could scale this up to do the same thing. There's no reason why you can't. I'm just showing you this is what I want to make, and this is what I make. I'm going to make it again this year. It's just because I put systems in place to get there. All right, you get the point. But here's another good point. We have such a cool industry that if you look at the top sales, mean annual salaries in the United States. You look here, cardiologist, anesthesiologist. I can't even say that second word. Maxillofacial surgeon, dermatologist, radiologist, gynecologist, pediatric surgeon, neurologist, orthodontist. You get it down the list. We can make more than that. And we went to school for a week. These guys went to school for how long? 12 years maybe, and then they have residency, and then they have $500,000 in student debt, right, before they paid off. So really it's 15 years before they're in the black. They're in the red before that. We can be successful in 5 training lessons here in a week of school if we apply ourselves. And that's the kicker. You got to actually do it. Most of our colleagues aren't going to do it, but you are, and we are. So let's get it done. But for perspective reasons, like, look at that. I went to school for a week. I barely got past high school, and I'm making more than a cardiologist. I'm making more than the bottom 3 of these combined almost. Yeah. Specialty dentist, a general dentist, and a computer and information systems manager. Right? I make more than a pilot, double what a pilot makes, right? Anyways, and I do all that business. I have a big family, as I mentioned before. I have 5 kids. I have a beautiful wife. I have 3 dogs. I have 2 cats. I have, 9 people on the Homes by Cusi team, and I have all this coaching stuff. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And I barely got past high school. Did I say that? I did. And so I'm not. Oh, look, I got the washer and dryer over there on the right. I should have cropped that out, but we may do. So I'm busy. So if you can say I'm busy, you know what? So am I. And guess what? I did this all. No cold calling, no door knocking, no begging. I don't annoy people. I don't chase crap leads. People come to me. And I'm going to teach them how to come to you too in these next couple series. All right, great. So there are 5 things required for us to grow our business. And let's go. We're going to talk about those. So number 1, if you want to grow your business, and this is when we start paying attention and taking notes, we got to create a marketing plan pushing our product that we're going to develop over the next couple of days. And we need to push that product to the people that we want to push that product to. That's the easiest way to get a sale. Develop who we want to market our product to, develop a really cool market, and just tell those people about our cool product, right? And then if we do this, this will help increase our profit. And we never have to discount ourselves because we have unique offerings, making us a product of one and a competition to none, as we said earlier. And then we got to learn how to present it. They're going to call us eventually, and we need to know how to present it. The cool thing is that usually at that point, it's already sold, but we're just like solidifying it. And our presentation is really good for people who don't know us all that well and people who refer to us. So it's good to have a presentation ready, practice, and ready to go that you can just spit out. And we're going to do that over the next module, section 2. And the result of this is we're going to have a lot of client retention. We not only have client retention, people coming back to us, they're going to tell everyone about us. And this scales with our marketing. And the most powerful marketing is the marketing we don't even do directly, is word of mouth through our goodwill, by the way. So have you gotten value so far? Tell your friends, right? Tell your friends about this. All right. And if we do these things, we will dominate our market share to the people we want to dominate to, too, which is the kicker. We never have to discount ourselves again. We have endless ability to market ourselves. We have a really cool product. We take pieces of that product out, and we can easily explain why each piece of those products, also known as lead magnets, why these things are super unique and powerful, and we can say them at ease because we created it. It's really awesome. That'll make more sense as we get forward. We're going to stay relevant and top of mind because we're different. Different is memorable. And we never have to worry about what to say when people ask, what's your commission? Why should I hire you? Those things never get asked, very, very rarely, right? It's usually the power structure in the dynamic of client and realtor gets flipped if you follow along and do what we do over the next couple of videos. Right? What's in it for me? Why am I doing it? I'll be honest with you. One is referrals. I would love to get my name out there and be the real estate agent that you go to in Boca Raton, Delray, Parkland, Coral Springs, Florida, Deerfield Beach, Lighthouse Point, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, that area. I'm on the county line of Palm Beach and Broward, and we do the South Palm Beach, North Broward area, Margate, Tamarack, even those areas. Highland Beach. We'll love to be your referral sources for your clients down here. I would like to get premium subscribers into the training. That's helpful too. So after this, if you're getting extreme value, you might, you know what? I want to take this to another level. I want to see what else Chris has to offer. And then there is some income from that too, which would be great. Not necessary, but great. So do it. Why not? Also what I can get out of this too, for selfish reasons, I can get followers on my social media things, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. So selfishly, I do that for that. What I love about it, I get surrounded by go-getters. When I started doing a training, you notice that a lot of people gravitate towards the training so if you want to do a training, I can help you with it too. But people gravitate towards it, and you can really get like really solid, motivated people get attracted to motivated people, and you just share ideas and you just grow from that and just get better from that. It also gives me a bigger purpose. I'm actually doing something other than just real estate. I'm giving back to people so they don't have to struggle like I struggled. Right? They can just take my struggles and I pay the price for them. So it's a bigger purpose for me. It makes me feel like I'm actually accomplishing something beyond just being a realtor, which is kind of important to me. And also this can help me with expansion partners and team members. I want to say a good portion of the people on the Homes by Cusi team over here in this area were students of my other coaching programs one way or another, or they heard about it from other people. And if I want to expand out into other areas, let's say Tampa, Florida, or I don't know, Denver, Colorado, anywhere, and people go through this training and they're ingrained, they understand the system, they want to become expansion partners, that might be an option. Who knows? And overall, it's for goodwill. Goodwill is huge. Besides just doing the right things, goodwill is the most powerful thing that grows even when you're sleeping. It's the only, I guess, marketing thing that you can do when you don't even know what's happening, and it's exponential and infinite. The more you put out there and provide for others, the more your goodwill grows. And selfishly, that's kind of important to me. I kind of want that for all the things I mentioned above over there. So that's what's in it for me. All right. So my promise to you though is that I would never tell you something that I haven't done before myself. And if I do, I'll tell you that I haven't tried this and heard about it. I'll never mislead you. You will have a much better real estate career if you do this. I make very few promises, and these are my promises. And when you have a better real estate career and you have more clarity and vision of what's going to happen, your life gets better as a result. And I would never, ever violate your trust. If you come to me and you say, and you want to ask questions that you think are quote unquote stupid or whatever, I would never, ever violate your trust to come to me and have those conversations. I'm like, oh, can you believe what so-and-so said? Right? And I'll never mislead you. I'll never tell you anything that's untrue that I'm aware of. I might say something that I think is true is not true, but I would never purposely violate your trust. That's my promise for you. So my next question is, are you ready? Are you ready? So your next steps moving forward is, I would love for you to post in the Skool community chat right now that you watch this intro and that you're ready to begin. You can just say, hey, my name is Jennifer. I watched the training. I am ready to begin. I'm super excited to see what happens. Do a video or not a video, just type it in. Just so other people can get excited too. Goodwill. Remember, it's goodwill. And it's free. There's some free for them to do. So maybe if they haven't explored it, the more people that people see doing that might motivate other people to take that step, right? And the community gets better, and that just helps you too, because if you interact in the community with a better community, the Skool community, then you can become some person that they might want to refer business to, or create some kind of business relationship, or maybe personal relationship, I don't know, relationship with that way too. Connecting with people is the precursor to happiness and success, and we're going to talk about happiness in a minute. And yeah, I already said that. Consider beginning your goodwill journey by telling others in this group. All right. So this is our first action step today. We finally got to it. Now, I struggled at first talking about this because I wasn't sure if this is where I wanted to start. And then I realized how important this was. And I regret not starting with what I call the happiness meter on my other trainings. Because when I coach and train people, up here is the hardest part for them. Staying motivated, and staying motivated and staying in the business. There's a 94% chance that people are going to drop out of the industry, and a lot of that's because they don't really have a focus of why they're in it in the first place. And I always thought this was a very good thing for people to understand and recognize, and why I want to start the training with this. So what we have to understand, and this is good for your clients too, what we have to understand is that everyone, you, me, your clients, your loved one, your family, everything we do makes us happy. I'm spending time doing this video because I know eventually some people are going to watch it and it's going to make them feel good inside, and that makes me happy, right? It's the first video in the series of training videos that's going to make them happy and makes me happy, right? Every moment in the day, we're doing things to make us feel happy. Even the darkest things, like, gosh, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but when people, end it all, it's a nice way of saying it. They're doing it at that moment because they're avoiding pain, because they want to be happy again. Everything people do in the moment is for people to find happiness and avoid being sad and upset. And there's 4 things in there. For the way you want to look at what you see on your screen here, let me grab my mouse, is this is like a timeline. This is 0 time and this is infinite time, or you can do 24 hours. And you fill your whole day with one of these 4 things: health, wealth, status, relationships. Health, wealth, status, relationships. Everything we do is for one of those 4 things. And the amount of time we invest into anything, the amount of time we invest into anything, it really changes from person to person and from day to day. For example, when I met my wife and first started getting serious in real estate, I was big on health. Worked out all the time, incredible shape, all that stuff. A little bit because I like the status of looking good and people knowing that I look good. And I didn't really care about wealth, and I wasn't really big on relationships then. And then we got pregnant. Relationships and wealth grew for a while, and my health kind of took a back seat, right? And you get the point. I'm not going to go down my whole life cycle, but my point is, what everything we do has is one of these 4 reasons, and the amount of time and amount of energy we put changes based on our scenario and time. And that's the same thing with your clients. But this is why we do anything. This is why your clients hire you. This is why you're moving forward in this training. What is it that you're trying to do? Are you trying to get wealthy? Do you want to be known as the #1 agent in the area or the #1 in the country? Do you want all your friends, the family, and mommy and daddy to respect you and love you? Or do you want to do it because you want to have more financial freedom so you can do things for your family, for better relationships? Or maybe you want to have more time, you want to have more money and freedom in your life so you can spend more time getting healthy at the gym. Maybe that's it. What is driving you? You have to really, really ask yourself. And if you ask yourself and you dive deep into these questions, which is going to be our first lesson of today, then it will tell you and me if this is something you're really going to pursue long term, or if just going back to another job or a career working for someone else would just be fine, right? Do you have big goals, big dreams? Do we see that far out? And if once we can envision ourselves seeing that far out, it can really push us to do really great things. And that's going to be your first lesson for today. So what I'm going to do is, on your inside of your right now, you can do this and take your time on this. Click on the link for the document. It's called Your Happiness and Your Motivation document. I'm going to pull this one over on the screen now. So load it up. Maybe you'll pause this for a second if you have to. So when you load this up, what you want to do is you want to hit File, and you want to do Make a Copy. File, Make a Copy. Don't try to edit this one because it won't let you. Well, at least I hope it doesn't let you. If it does, let me know because I got to fix it. But hit File, Make a Copy. And don't request access to it. Now you can have your own copy on your computer. And this is what I do with every time I hire someone or potentially hire someone on the team, we go through this. We dive kind of deep. So what I want you to do is, if we go back to the screen here of health, wealth, status, and relationships, we're going to have health as #1, wealth #2, status 3, and relationships as #4. And we're going to dive deep on each one of those things, and you're going to figure out what is really driving you and important to you, and that's going to should stir up some kind of emotion and excitement for you to push forward to the next video, whether you watch it after this or tomorrow or next week. So, well, if you're really motivated, you'll probably watch it now if you have the time. But anyways, so what you're going to do is you're going to imagine yourself 5 years from now. You and I are having a beer, having a coffee, having dinner, lunch, something, maybe even a Google meeting or a Zoom. And we're going to think about your perfect scenario in each one of these factors of your life: health, wealth, status, and relationships. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go #1, for example, health. Right? Imagine it's right now, which is 5 years. Imagine 5 years from now is right now. And you're in the best place that you desire to be in your health. What does this look like? Meaning, are you at 12% body fat? Or are you a bodybuilder? Or maybe not. Maybe you're okay with being at 35% body fat, but healthy everywhere else. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. What to you does the perfect health look like for you? Are you disease free? You know, God forbid if you have disease now or something like that. You get to point. What is it? What's healthy? Are your knees good? Like my knees are starting to age. Like that's why I thought of it. Are your knees good? And you're running hard, and you do the triathlon, and your heart rate's down, and all that. You get the point. What is the perfect thing about you in 5 years? When I say, hey, how's your health? Oh, so good. It's this. Write that down. What is that? What does that look like for you? And then after you do that, you want to how do you get there? How do you get to that point where in 5 years from now, you're realistically at that point? Is it joining a gym or not? Is it changing your eating habits? Is it getting blood tests more often? Is it going to the doctor more often? Is it signing up for mud runs and doing them? Whatever. Is it buying a Peloton? How do you get to that goal, right? And then what steps do you need to do to arrive there? What steps after you write that down do you need to get there? And do it. Make this training more about real estate. Make it about everything in your life, right? Because it does all tie together. And then write, why is that important to you? Why is it important for you to be here where we entered in #1, right? Take your time on that, and then do that same with wealth. What does it look like? Do you have 100 grand in the bank? Do you have 4 investment properties? Do you have 20 investment properties? Right? What does that look like for you when it comes to wealth? Do you have an IRA that has several $100,000 in it? What 5 years from now would be the perfect scenario for your financing? Are you finally financially free with no debt? Write that down. What does it really look like? And then how do you get there? Well, I'll tell you how to get there. Finish this training and do what we say and apply it for the next couple of years and have goodwill and tell everyone about it. That's a good way. Well, and that's the next steps. What are the next steps that you need to do to get there? Finish this worksheet and then go to the next video and do the next video, right? And then why is it important for you to have this wealth? Do the same thing with your status. Do you want to be known as the top agent? Do you want to be known as the agent in your neighborhood? Do you want to be known as the funniest agent in the world? Whatever. What status are you looking for from your friend? Do you want to be known as the person in your family that gets things done or pays for the vacations, or the person who handles everything for everyone else, or the reliable person? Like, what status do you want to have? A good example of status is Russell Brunson said this once in one of his speeches, is that status is not necessarily like having the best of something. For example, his wife said she didn't want a Lamborghini, or I think it was a Lamborghini that who wanted to buy her. And he thought it was like, why? And her reason was, I want a minivan because all the other moms have a minivan. So status could be with other moms with minivans, even though she could have a Lamborghini. But for some people, maybe it's a Lamborghini. Not for me. I have a Chevy. I'm happy with it. It's paid off. But I could have a Lambo, right? But it's like, why? For some people, it's just not a thing. But maybe it is for you. Or maybe it's a minivan. My point is, status is not big, shiny Gucci's and Louis Vuittons. It could be, I don't know. I don't know what cheap purses are. I don't know. TJ Maxx stuff. Because all your friends are TJ Maxx. See what I'm getting at? You get the point. And finish this chart. Do the same thing with relationships. And that is going to be the end of our first lesson. If you finish this lesson and you got value, went through, and you're like, oh my God, I never really went through all this stuff. And to provide value, once again, please bring people into our community and invite them to this free training. Also, please put it into the community boards that you finished it. Share your excitement, and then everyone's life just gets better. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. And so until then, my friends, finish this and have a good one.